señorita. Ooh.
Okay, we're recording, so I'll be able to steal your ideas and sell them.
This, by the way, warning, this verse is tough love. Okay, the verse is Deva Sangitam Apyante Krimivid Bhasma Sangitam. Wow. Bhuta Druk Tatkrate Sartam King Veda Nirayo Jataha. So Bhuta Druk Tatkrate Sartam Kim Veda Nirayo Jataha. Okay, I'll read Prabhupada's, Prabhupada's translation. While living, one may be proud of one's body, thinking oneself a very big man, minister, president, or even demigod. But whatever one may be, after death, this body will turn either into worms, into stools, or into ashes, right? If the body's cremated or eaten by another animal and turned into stool or worms. If one kills poor animals to satisfy the temporary whims of this body, one does not know that he will suffer in his next birth, for such a sinful miscreant must go to hell and suffer the results of his actions. So let's look at what the Sanskrit, let's take a close look at the Sanskrit. It says Deva Sangitam. So even someone who is known like as a god, or as, a rock star, as some big person. Deva Sangitam api ante, at the end. Ante means at the end, or time of death. Krimivid Bhasma, that person who was sort of celebrated as a deva then becomes known as a worm or stool or ashes. Because, our false prestige in this world is, of course, based on the body, because the soul is just, sleeping in there. And so it's the body that sort of, gets that prestige, like I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm an athlete, I'm a musician, I'm a rich person. It's really about the body. And so that which is known as Deva, as a higher being, becomes known as stool, worms and ashes. So this is tough love. This is the Bhagavatam, not pulling the punches. And so then, Bhuta Druk, which means someone who harms other creatures. Bhuta Druk, Prabhupada translates, this person does not accept the Shastra conjunctions and is unnecessarily envious of other living entities. So Druk means to injure, to harm, to be an aggressor against someone. And so Bhuta against, so Bhuta Druk. Tatkrit says one is Bhuta Druk, one is harming or abusing creatures, and Tatkrite, and because of that, Swartham, in pursuing one's so-called self-interest, King Veda, who knows? Nirayo Jataha. Because of that, what does that person know? King Veda, what does that person know? That because of that behavior, that person will go to hell, Niraya. So that's what it actually says, that's what the verse says. So I was just thinking before I was called to give this class, for which I'm being highly paid. I'm getting actually a very large payment, although it has nothing to do with money. It's just goodwill. So I was thinking that today, nowadays in the world, we have this like shocking and sort of like disgusting phenomenon where you see older people trying to imitate younger people, like dress like younger people. And of course, Manjari is very sensitive to that. So my experience inhabiting a body, the body, in fact, that you see in front of you, although it's changed every 7 years, my experience is that these are the best times of my life. Now my body's a little older and I think I'm like arguably sane as opposed to when I was younger. And so, having my body get older in Krishna consciousness, not just getting old, having your body get old, but, trying to serve Prabhupada, chanting Hare Krishna, keeping vows and so on, that as time goes on, life gets better and better. I mean, wouldn't it be absurd to think that you're practicing spiritual life sincerely and you're accumulating all that spiritual credit, but unfortunately there's a counter trend that your body's getting older. So is it your increasing spiritual credit, or is it your body that determines your happiness? And if you say it's the body that determines your happiness, then why the hell are you practicing spiritual life? Just get into your body, which of course is absurd. So therefore, I mean, even among devotees, sometimes nice devotees, and they kind of look at me in my superficially senior state, and they almost like, oh, are you okay? Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for me because I have an older body. It's like, no, it's not that I want to suffer. It's not that nothing makes me happier than to go to my geriatric specialist. But the point is that as you get older and you've lived your body, and I mean, I kept to keep, speaking precisely, we don't get older, we're eternal souls. But as the body gets older, and if you faithfully tried to serve Prabhupada and Krishna, if you've tried your best to practice bhakti yoga, you get wiser and wiser, and you discover your real youth. Because guess what? A trigger alert. To the young people out there, trigger warning, to the young people out there, when you have a younger body and you feel kind of youthful and like it's all, it's really happening for me, guess what? That's bodily youth. That's bodily youth. And so sort of like the exuberance, enthusiasm, the confidence of youth is based on having a young body. But if you practice Krishna consciousness, then you awaken your spiritual youth, which is eternal. So from my point of view, I have the real youth. And to the people who have young bodies, I'm thinking, yeah, enjoy your young body, while it lasts. But actually in Krishna consciousness, you enjoy your real youth, and you enjoy it as you advance, which means it's very likely that you will just really discover and really enjoy your eternal youth when your body is older. And so I don't look upon young people as, oh, you're the young people, you're so lucky. No. I mean, I look upon myself as, I'm not proud, it's just that I always think I'm better than everyone else. So I really feel that those of us who have actually faithfully practiced Krishna consciousness, I'm enjoying my real youth, because spiritual youth, unlike my bodily youth, actually also comes with sanity at no extra cost. And so, because you have so much experience and you understand so many things. So I was going to say, I was just talking to the devotees here, Abhishek and Sarvani, that one thing which I find just completely crazy and shameless is when you see older people trying to look youthful, like doing such highly rational, mature things as wearing baseball caps backwards, so that you can show people I'm so intelligent that I'm increasing my chance of skin cancer, which is a sign of a very intelligent person. So if you think about it, what could be more shameless, what could be more foolish than someone in an older body that wants to look sexy or youthful? It's pathetic. It's profoundly pathetic. Because, the older people in society should be, hopefully, sources of wisdom, because you get to my age, they're very, you made so many mistakes that you just learn. My father used to say, I went to the school of hard knocks. And so to me, what could be more precious than wisdom, than experience? And so those who have older bodies, that's their duty to try to share this with the younger people, not to try to stupidly, shamelessly imitate them. So anyway, that was my aggressive comment that I wanted to make. because those of you who know me know there's always going to be some aggressive comments in my classes. So going back to that verse for a second, yeah, it's I think it's clear. So I mean, Krishna consciousness is so wonderful. So we just dedicate ourselves to serving Krishna. It's so wonderful because it's like watering the root of the tree. In the act of doing your very best to serve Prabhupada and Krishna, you're doing the very best for yourself. When someone is not yet very wise, they think, do I choose what I really want to do? Or do I choose what, apparently Prabhupada or Krishna want me to do, or my guru? Which is a completely false dichotomy. Because why would a bona fide guru, let's say who's experienced, what did Jimi Hendrix say? Are you experienced? The problem was he wasn't experienced and kind of destroyed himself, which proved that he wasn't experienced. So our self-interest is not different than Krishna's interest. Prahlad Maharaj said, Nate vidu, which means they don't know. Nate vidu, they don't know. Swartha gating, the real goal of self-interest. Because we're all pursuing swartha, swartha. Everyone literally self-interest. We're all pursuing it because as living beings, how can you not want to be happy? How can you not pursue your self-interest? That would be unnatural. And yet Prahlad said, gati, the real progress of self-interest. Gati comes from the word gum, going, or gas. So the real progress of self-interest, the real goal of self-interest is Vishnu, is God. So if I'm not trying to please Krishna, I'm not actually pursuing my self-interest. So if you don't serve Krishna, God, you can't even be selfish properly. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's such a pathetic, ridiculous situation not to serve God that you don't even know how to be selfish. Because you do things that will make you miserable and unsuccessful. So therefore, Vasudeva Sarvam, Krishna's everything. Anyway, thank you very much. And Manju, you can send me a copy of this. And
I already sent it to you. It's in your text messages.
Wow, is she good? But I just finished the lecture like 3 seconds ago.
I know, but it's the link to the YouTube, so it'll be live. So it's just recording it. So you have the link ready to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you know, young people can never compete with people my age in tech savvy.
Never.
Never, no. That's very well known. I mean, I actually know how to operate, don't get envious, an electric toothbrush. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I know. You're very impressed.
I'm very impressed.
So thank you all very much. And it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. And I guess see you again soon. Any questions?
Yes, Maharaj. Anyone has a question before I ask question?
Uh-oh. Nita is on the hunt.
Nanika Prabhu, you have a question?
No, Prabhuji.
No
I have
question.
a question.
Yes, please.
Maharaj, what about killing thousands of mice I kill for my work?
What about what?
For my work.
What do
I
you
have
do?
to, well, I'm a just poor scientist, but I have to kill a lot of mice. And sometimes I even have to kill them like a pregnant mom to take the babies out. So I always feel so bad about doing it. And I always chant when I'm doing it. But
No, understandable. I understand your situation. I would say that you should just make a very sincere, earnest effort to find a different job. Obviously you want to work according to your credentials and your qualifications, but I would say if there's any way you could, find a job.
might be too late. I've already done so many. And
Right, understandable. Well, I would say just do your best. I would pray to Krishna because Krishna is all powerful, and and there's no too late for Krishna because he's all powerful.
okay.
So I would say,
you, Maharaj.
yeah, even if you feel that you're kind of, you shot your last silver bullet and you're still in the same job, then just completely surrender this to Krishna and tell Krishna. I think that, I would say you really should have, as soon as possible, which you've probably already done, very serious talk with Krishna, completely open your heart to Krishna and beg him to please save you. And so if you put it in Krishna's hands, then, and just, and really, really depend on Krishna to save you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm doing that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other question?
Rasgali, Hemlata, any question? Maharaj?
No, Prabhu.
Okay.
Okay.
So Maharaj, would you talk about the people of my age trying to be younger? So other than getting skin cancer, what else is wrong with that?
Nitai Gaurasundar is very much my junior because he's 18 days younger than me. We were born 18 days apart. Soul brothers. Okay. So what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it is that all of us at any age or any stage of life are acting according to our best understanding of what is our self-interest. Everyone is pursuing their self-interest according to their understanding. And so if I want to act like someone or imitate someone who has just the understanding of a young person who still has so many attachments, which are, as we know, sort of like chemically driven, then what it means is, let's say, for example, I am 49 years old plus. The plus remains undefined. No, but at the present time, my body is 72 years old. So if I want to imitate, let's say, a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old, what that means is that in 40 or 50 years, I learn nothing. I learn nothing. That means I completely wasted 40 or 50 years, wasted them and learned nothing. So in my own case, I've learned a lot, sometimes by just sincere submission and a lot of times by getting knocked around. And yeah, that's why it's shameful. That's why it's so disgusting that someone in 50 years couldn't learn anything about life. So yes, if you see a 30-year-old person talking like a 6-year-old and you say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, it's the same thing. You see a 70-year-old trying to talk like a 20-year-old, it just means the person is a complete fool that couldn't learn anything. That's how I see it. I have trouble expressing myself, but so any other point?
Anybody else? Tandika Prabhu has a point now.
Cool.
No, Maharaj, it's an awesome point, Maharaj. I never ever think about that perspective, but it gives a lot of values to us, Maharaj. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening.
Manjari bro, you joined late, but I was talking about 10, 10, 10. So you have any comments or questions?
Not today, Prabhu. Probably tomorrow I have some questions.
So I think
Comments?
as we say in Sanskrit, tat sarvang janaha, which means that's all, folks.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening. Hare Krishna.
So we'll,
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
so we'll go on to Pinaji. Are you going to do the Dasavatar Stotra? Hare Krishna.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, kitab dijiye. 1 minute. It's number 7 or number 8?
Number, it looks like number. Yes, ma'am.
Ram or Ram.
Number 7, yeah.
Number 7. बीतरसि दिक्षुरणे दिगपति कमनीयम् दस मुख मौलि बलिम रमणीयम् बीतरसि दिक्षुरणे दिवपति कमनीयम् दस मुख मौलि बलिम रमणीयम् केशवधीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे ट्रांसलेशन हे केशव, हे जगदीश, हे रामचंद्र का रूप धारण करने वाले श्री हरि, तुम्हारी जय हो। लंका के युद्ध में तुम दसमुख राक्षस का वध करते हो और तथा उसके सिरों को दसों दिशाओं के दिग्पालों को रमणीय व वांछनीय उपहार स्वरूप वितरण करते हो। हरे कृष्ण।
Raskeli, can you lead us in nursing a prayer? Hare Krishna. Raskeli.
Yes, bro.
Can you
Sorry.
lead us in nursing a prayer?
Yes, bro. Sure, bro. Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. Yes, bro. Namaste Narashingaya.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
Prahladahaladaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito na shingha parato na shingha.
You are muted, Raskeli.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was singing. I thought I was unmuted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Prabhu. Namaste Narashingaya.
Namaste Narashingaya.
Praladahalaini.
Paladalaini.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Hiranyakashripuvakshaha.
Shilatankanakhalaye.
Shiratnanka nakhalahe.
Ito nashinga parato nashinga.
Ito nashinga parato nashinga.
Yato yato yami tato nashinga.
Yato yami tato nashinga.
Bahe nashinga hridaye nashinga.
Bahe nashinga hirdahe nashinga.
Narashinga madim sharanam prapadye.
Narashinga madim sharanam papade.
Tava kara kamalavare nakham adbhuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipu tanu vringa keshavadrita narahari rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tava Kara
Kamalavare naka adbhuta shinga darita hiranyakashipu tanu bringa.
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsingadev 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 Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Now let's unmute ourselves and do the Vaishnava Pranam.
Vancha
Vanchakalpataruyascha kripa sindhuvaiva cha
Kalpa
Padeshanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.